Hey everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Mr. Guy on Board Game Geek, DougMrGuy.com, and Doug Mr. Guy on YouTube, bringing you episode 8 of our playthrough of Zombicide Black Plague, where we are about to, I think, either win or lose. It looks to me like a win for us. I have made a couple of mistakes over the course, well, a number of them over the course of the playthrough, but most of them, in fact, almost all of them, were against my favor, making it more difficult for myself, which is my typical way to do things. If I'm going to cheat, I'd rather cheat in the favor of the game and make it harder. But we are going to continue on. We got a lot going on, and we're going to start our game with our guy, Samson the Dwarf. He is currently coming up from the vault to storm through and do some slaying, and we're going to do some slaying. So let's get right to that. I'm filming back-to-back, so if I made an error in the last couple of episodes, I'm not going to be able to correct them. I just want you to know that. I will try to make note of them if I catch them before I post. And feel free to put those into the comments so people can see if I made a boo-boo, which in these playthroughs we do make because you can't time travel back and fix them when they're on film. Anyway, guys, let's continue on. We're going to get right to it with Samson and have a good old time with him. Okay, well, here's Samson. Not much has changed about him. You see he's got 16 experience points, so he's probably going to get into the orange zone this turn and get his next combat die, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think this is going to be a pretty short episode, guys. I really, really do. So let's go right to the table and get him moving. Samson's actually here, but he's going to come up in the vault. So that's going to be his first of 4 actions. So 1, and then he's going to come through this door for 2 right here. Comes out screaming, hollering. He wants to get some zombie action going on. And he's going to swing his greatsword at these 3 runners right there because he's got it to swing now. So the greatsword isn't the best weapon. It does roll 5 dice, which is good. But it also needs a 5 or better to hit. It's kind of a wild weapon. It does 1 point of damage. Remember, he's got 3 runners in that space. So he's going to try and take them all out. Now this will be his 3rd action of 4. And if he gets them, gets at least 2, well, now you have to get all of them to go up a level and get another combat action, which won't do much good. Well, we'll see. Let's roll. Boom! Wow, he got all 3 of them in one shot. Kablooey! So he did succeed in getting all of these runners out of space. He comes flying out of the building. Clovis was all ready to battle him. Samson comes flying out of the building and takes them all out with one giant sweep of his greatsword. Forget the hammer. That's my dwarf, sorry. He's not going to use the hammer anymore. Anyway, this does put him up to 19. Sorry if I can do math and get that to work right. There you go. 19, which is going to give him either a +1 die to combat or +1 die roll in melee. I think we'll give him +1 die because that is cool. And so he's just going to take that. That's not going to do that much for him, but that was action number 3 of 4. So, wait, you know what? I take it back. Oh, it doesn't give him an extra combat action, though. It just gives him extra die, so he's not going to be able to attack anymore this turn. That said, I do like his armor, so he's going to step into here, and if he needs to, if these guys actually survive the round, he'll take hits against those guys there. So, like I said, I think this is going to be a really short episode because we're almost done. We're going to go on to Anne next. Okay, well, Anne is doing really well, but she's going to use, right off the bat, her Bloodlust melee ability with the melee feature of the Orcish crossbow. And she's going to charge out to here and take out this fatty. Why the heck not? I mean, I think we got this part buttoned up. I think we're good. So, yeah, she's going to do that. So she charges out there. She's going to get 2 dice. And she's going to need a 3 or better to hit that fatty. And if she was to fail, she's also got a free melee action, but I don't think she will. Boom, no, she didn't twice over. So she took that fatty out. That will give her another experience point. She's at 21. And then for her 2nd action, she'll step up to here. 3rd action, she's going to shoot the fatty there with 2 more dice. Just a crazy mad nun. Let's see if she gets him. She does. Twice over again. Boom. She's hitting every time. So that's going to take that fatty out. This basically clears the way for our heroes. We're in good shape. That will grant her another experience point. Okay. Next up, we're going to have Baldrick. So, because that's going to end Ant's turn. And then we're going to move on to Baldrick. Okay, here's our superior wizard, Baldrick. He is the plate-armored bad boy slayer of things. He's going to go do some magic, I believe. Let's see what he's going to do. He might as well continue to clear this place out. He can't get any more experience. So, you know, let's just have fun with him. I should go look in the rules, because in the regular Zombicide, his experience would then wrap around and he'd get bonuses, but there's nothing in the current Zombicide Black Plague that would allow him to do that, like the ultra red weapons and things like that. Because in this game they have the vault system, which he has one of those vault spells, which is this one. But anyway, here he is. He's going to go 1 for one of his actions, 2 for 2 of his actions. He's going to fire his Inferno into that spell or into that space rather for his using a spellcaster ability, which makes it free. There's lots to kill up in there. Let's see if he can do it. Well, he got 2 walkers in that free magic action, so he's only used 2 actions so far. Okay, there's 2 more walkers and a fatty, so he'll do that. He'll use his second free magic action to do that again. This time he gets both walkers, because those got to go first. And then the fatty, because remember, Inferno does 2 points of damage. So that was he's only used 2 actions so far. So we could, I think we're just going to leave him there, because I'll show you why. Don't have any way to kill the Abomination. These fatties are going to move up 1. He'll just stay there and keep blasting away, buying time for these guys down here to finish the mission, which I believe we are going to do momentarily when Nelly comes up. Which, by the way, it's Nelly's turn now. But hey, I want to point out something I did a couple turns ago, just to show you how I cheat myself. I thought I just failed to edit it in, but I actually skipped Nelly's turn in one episode. Someone brought it up to me. I went back and said, no, I'm sure I did it. I went back to look. I thought maybe just I forgot to include the clip, but I didn't. I actually just totally skipped her turn. So making the game a little more difficult for me. But that's okay, because obviously I think we're going to do it anyway. Here be little Nelly. She's got her leather armor, her crossbow, and her short sword. Well, she's going to basically use her short sword and try and take out the Necromancer and the runner that are in her space. Not a great chance in there, but it's okay. You know what? Wait, you know what she's going to do? I take it back. She has a free move action. It's going to take her 3 total actions to move out of this space, which would leave her with 1 action, because she's got 4, and she gets a free move action. So she can spend 2, well, she needs to add 2, so she spends a total of 3, but one of them's a free move action to move there, and then she's going to pick up this objective. We already know it's nothing terrible for us, so she does that because that means we only have the 1 objective to pick up. That will put her up to 20 experience point, and we'll get her a new ability of... Now, she has Bloodlust, Melee, and Slippery. I think I would have normally taken Slippery, because Slippery is just too good. It wouldn't... With Slippery, what she just did would have only cost her 1 action if she had the Slippery ability. Getting by other enemies makes it easier when you have the Slippery ability. It's the same... It has the same basic effect as the one in the regular Zombicide. That's going to end Nelly's turn, and we're 1 objective away from winning. Now we're going to go with Clovis, and I want to point something out with him too for your future reference. The +1 die melee, his base ability, would apply to both of his dual wield weapons. So he actually rolls 4 dice, not 3. 3 dice is pretty good, but I'll take 4. With short swords, that's even better. That actually makes it better than the great sword that Samson's wielding, which is 5 dice but needs a 5+. So he's rolling 4 dice but only needs a 4+. Anyway, for his first of 4 action, he's going to step into here. He's going to swing on these 2 with his dual short swords. Remember, he's got 4 dice. He needs a 4 or better. He got 1 of them, so he killed the runner. The runner's going to go before the Necromancer. And then he's going to take his 3rd action to swing at the Necromancer. Boom, he got the Necromancer. Necromancer is dead. Now, that guy we can actually kill. He's not undead, so we have slain a Necromancer. That's going to give Clovis 21 experience points. Pretty cool, right? And now, here's the ticket, guys. We are going to do one last thing with Clovis, and I believe that will effectively end the game. No more enemies, so for his last action, he picks up this final objective. And with that, we have completed our scenario and won the game. They just basically flee off the map. They cleared out the Necromancers' hidden laboratory. They slew the Abomination. There was another one on the way, but they can get away from him. And they killed many, many Necromancers. I think at least 5 or so. That's pretty good. I hope that there's a Necromancer factory somewhere that's cranking these guys out and giving them rudimentary raising undead training. It must be, because really all they can do is raise more undead. And bring them along with them for the ride, creating spawn points. I hope someday, you know, it'd be really cool. Okay, throwing this out there, Simon. I know you're not going to watch this, but you might. Would be to have a deck of special Necromancer powers. When you first summon a Necromancer, you get to draw one of those and it does something different. It may not always be just a spawn point. That would be cool. Because they should have other abilities, or maybe they do a spawn point, but they also get some other instant effect that you can draw that would do something magical. Because Necromancer would raise undead. I mean, maybe I don't know. I can think of a whole bunch of things that would be cool for that, instead of just having the Necromancer be incredibly basic. I don't mind that, and I like the Cabal rules. Those are cool, but I think there could be more done here. So let me wrap it up, and let's talk about the game itself. Okay, here's our cast of characters. So, what do I think of Zombicide Black Plague? Well, you know I'm a fan of Zombicide. If you've watched, I've done multiple sessions of it. I have all 3 seasons. I swore at the end of season 3 that I was not going, when I got Angry Neighbors, I was not going to buy any more Zombicide. And then they had to go make a fantasy version of it. If they support this as strongly as the original Zombicide, I'm going to have too many Zombicide things. so my hope is, because I still have expansions coming for this, I got Wolfsburg plus the other add-ons and things. My hope is that they do support it well. Maybe someday, or maybe in the near future soon, I sell off all my regular Zombicide and just do this, because I do like the fantasy setting a lot, and I think they could do a lot more with it, having magic and things involved. They could still do a lot more with Zombicide too, but I'm done buying regular Zombicide stuff. I will not buy another thing. Probably have, I don't know, 50, 60 characters that you can play, plus 4 seasons and maps and everything. So for Christmas break, I was going to do, if this had not come, I was going to do a full campaign of a Zombicide Season 3 campaign that runs through it runs through an extended area of time. But I didn't do that. I did this instead, and as a single episode, and this was fun. What do I like about it? What do I dislike? First off, I like the fantasy setting. I love that setting. It's more appealing to me. I like games based in the fantasy setting, even though I like games based in other settings. I love H.P. Lovecraft. You could do that modern, you could do that in the early turn of the century. I don't care, it's all good stuff. But I do like fantasy. It's where my roots are, and for this kind of gaming, dungeon romping type things. So I like that, and I like the characters. For some reason, they have a different feel and personality to them, even though a lot of the abilities are exactly the same that come out of the regular Zombicide. I think that the 2 items that you can get out of the vault very easily, I think they should make them more difficult to get, are not necessarily overpowered, but they definitely change the pace of the normal game. If Anne had not had that orcish crossbow, she probably would have ended up with 2 far less weapons and not being able to do as much. However, because it was in the hands of the bloodthirsty nun, Anne, she was incredibly effective, using her bloodlust melee ability, then her free melee attack action. Now she can become a combo character. She's got some magic skills as well. She can become a combo character doing both spells and weapons, but with that orcish crossbow, there was just no reason. So she stayed all offensive all the time, just on the offense. I like that, but still, it shows that there's some diversity in the character. Baldrick grabbing that Inferno spell and the healing spell and plate armor was ridiculous. I'm sure in later scenarios it might be more difficult, but he was nothing short of, I don't know if I call it overpowered. He did take a point of damage along the way, but he was also able to heal everybody. If I had done if he had gotten all those spells earlier that he had in his repertoire, like the Repulse, the Fireball, etc., and I'd taken his spellbook ability, he would have been able to cast any one of those he wanted. It would have made him disgustingly powerful, especially given the fact he was wearing full plate armor. I don't know, thematically that didn't work for me, but it is what it is. And then another character I like but didn't get to shine is Clovis. I think he's got, his ability of the +1 extra die, and then his Swordmaster ability later on to be able to make anything dual wield is pretty cool. I like that. Silas, clearly the Elven Archer of the group. I was tempted several times to swap the Orcish crossbow out, but because of the melee ability and Anne's Bloodlust melee, I just didn't do it. I couldn't do it. It wouldn't have been as effective. Nelly, the barmaid, I think we didn't. She was okay. She didn't. I mean, part of it was dice rolls for me. She does get the Bloodlust ability later on, but she sacrifices then Slippery, and I think Slippery is a very, very good skill to have, especially later in the game as the zombies are piling up on the board. So overall, Samson, he's just tough. The Ironhide ability. I mean, even with just a stupid shield in his hand, it made him pretty powerful. So I think that again, this was the first scenario. Well, it wasn't the first scenario is actually like a introductory, but I already knew how to play, so I skipped right to this one. This is labeled as scenario 1 or mission 1, quest 1 in this game, and it was fun. I really enjoyed it. I hope you did too. The Abomination, it's always fun to have to try and figure out how to kill the Abomination when you can't. Makes it very interesting. So that's going to wrap it up. Quality components the same as the regular Zombicide. Very, very high quality. I do think that the miniatures in this game are far superior in detail to the ones in the regular Zombicide game. And I've been so tempted to pick up Army Painters, I think it's Army Painter or War Painter, I can't remember the company's sets for these, and get them painted because they do look amazing. I saw some painted figures. I wish I had more time. I barely have enough time to keep this channel running without the thought of sitting and painting miniatures. But anyway, Zombicide, Black Plague gets a thumbs up from me in a big way. I like the theme a little better than the original Zombicide. We'll have to see how the later scenarios plays out and how the additional stuff, the Wolfsburg expansion, etc., play into the game. Very happy to see that. It looks like they're taking the same tactic with a big box and an expansion box with the initial release with a bunch of add-ons. I think they'll keep that same theme. I know some people don't like that CMON does that, but frankly, one of the best BART deals I've gotten out of Kickstarter has been from Cool Mini or Not. Whether you think people will disagree or agree, it's up to you. But, for the amount of stuff I get, I mean, you can't, even when you just get one set, you can't just put it in a shelf. I have a box of Blood Rage. I mean, I'm not talking about the box. I'm talking about like a big cardboard box with all the expansions and stuff, and it's more stuff than I get for any other game. And yeah, I may have spent a little more for it, but overall, if I went and bought that retail, it'd be $400 worth of stuff. And it's just not that much. So anyway, guys, I enjoy this. I will probably continue to invest in Zombicide, Black Plague. We'll see. I'll see what they come up with next. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to end this. We're going to get wrapped up. I got a lot more to do. Man, I'm going to run out of time for the holiday. I'm off for the week, and I want to get a lot of stuff done. Next up is probably going to be Post-Human, which is one I've really wanted to get to the table. It is not a cooperative game. There's a solo variant which I will not be playing. I'm going to be playing I'm just going to be playing the competitive game because I think with the solo variant you miss out on something critical in the game, and that's the conflict of becoming a mutant. But anyway, once again there's our cast of characters. We did very well. I enjoyed it. It was fun. We're going to continue with the fun next time, and I hope to see you again when I start my playthrough of Post-Human. Thanks. Talk to you soon.